Palestinians have a right to a separate state?
No, I don't think they do. But I think
this was as far back as 1978, and ever since, Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't seem to have changed his mind. In trying to stick to that position, he didn't challenge only the Palestinians, but he also confronted US presidents, his own people, and the international community.
So the UN's hostility.
From his Polish father, Benzion Milikowski, Benjamin Netanyahu inherited the view that the Jews can never integrate into any other society, and the only way they can survive is to create and live inside an impenetrable fortress of their own.
History will not give the Jewish people another chance.
Netanyahu, the name his father adopted upon arriving in Palestine, found in the right-wing conservative Likud party his natural political home. As a student in the US, then a soldier in the Israeli army, and finally a politician, he insisted that security comes only by force. His rallying cry has been to keep Israel safe. Yet his political career thrived on Israel's insecurity. His success in elections invariably came during moments of collective fear and uncertainty generated by Palestinian attacks. And analysts say he's paid lip service to peace while never intending to seek it. Shortly after his first election as Israeli Prime Minister in 1996, he flew to the US for a showdown with President Clinton about the Oslo Accords agreed between Israel and the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Clinton wanted him to abide by the deal. He wanted to trash it.
And I'm the leader of a...
Years later, he told President Obama to his face that he wouldn't freeze the building of settlements in the occupied West Bank or allow the right of return for Palestinian refugees.
It's not going to happen. Everybody knows it's not going to happen. And I think it's time to tell the Palestinians forthrightly, it's not going to happen.
Netanyahu continued to harden his stance as he made his return to power. With the support of AIPAC, the powerful Zionist lobby in Washington, he was caught on tape bragging about his ability to manipulate the US and its leaders to serve Israeli interests. As a result, the Palestinian cause was all but forgotten. In 2020, Israel signed what was declared the deal of the century, known as the Abraham Accords, whereby it would normalize ties with several Arab countries without clear guarantees for the creation of a Palestinian state. But just as it was on the verge of signing a historic deal with Saudi Arabia, the October 7 attacks shook the region. In the run-up, Netanyahu had been mired in scandals and facing charges of bribery, fraud and breach of trust. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis took to the streets in protest against his legal reforms aimed at reducing the power of the judiciary. But after launching what became a genocide in Gaza, he won the support of nearly 95% of Israelis. Even as many again took to the streets in anger about the failure to bring back scores of hostages held by Hamas. Netanyahu ignored them, and he derailed every attempt to achieve peace by continuing to refuse to sign a deal with Hamas.
The UN will be viewed by fair-minded people everywhere as nothing more than a contemptuous farce.
To get his way, Netanyahu defied the world, insulted the UN, and shrugged off a bid by the International Criminal Court to arrest him for alleged war crimes.
Bear criminal responsibility.
And to keep power, he surrounded himself with ultra-religious politicians bent on expelling the Palestinians and destroying the Aqsa Mosque to build a Jewish temple on the site. His final action appeared to be aimed at subduing the entire region through the force of arms.
There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach.
Critics say his approach is motivated by a desire to be remembered as the powerful hero who saved the Jewish people and defeated their enemies, along with a desperate need to stay in power as long as he can to continue to enjoy immunity against prosecution. But some believe that through his actions, Netanyahu may end up destroying those two dreams altogether. Mohamed Vall, Al Jazeera.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.